Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. Here I am in the beautiful city of Moncton, New Brunswick. I'm using my reflection off the glass so you can see me for a minute. Hello. So, we're having a really nice day. As you can see, if you can look that way, you see all those clouds in the sky, right? That was overhead, but all that way here, which is coming towards us now, it's all clear skies from there. So it's gorgeous. It must be at least 30 degrees Celsius right now. So I'm happy with that. I love this weather. No way I was going to make a video inside today. Not on a day like this. So I'm taking the opportunity to walk around, get some fresh air, touch nature, touch the grass, smell the flowers, hug a tree. I'm into that kind of hippie stuff. But this is what I want to kind of segue into is like, of course, you saw the title of the episode of this video. I could have went live, but I don't like going. I want to go, like during the day. I want to go live more at night so that I can actually read the comments when people do comment back. So once the weather starts getting nicer in the evening, like later in the evenings, which is coming, I will be going live during the evenings, like on my days off. But yeah, let's get to the point. I want to talk about putting the you back in YouTube. Bringing the humanity back because YouTube has lost complete sight of that. Somebody mentioned, okay, I'm going to change the camera angle so I can actually see myself a little bit here. See if I can't turn the camera around. Oh, I don't see the option for that, but it doesn't matter. I'll do it this way. So there we are. There we go. So I don't want you guys to miss anything. So yeah. So talking about putting the you back in YouTube. Whatever channel I mention, of course, I will leave down in the comments below so that you'll see what's going on. I could walk down Main Street, but I'm going to walk next to the ocean actually, get away from some of that traffic. Go where there's barely any cars, so you guys can hear me a little bit better. It's such a beautiful day. Here's the public library. I had made a video quite a while back, months ago, where there was a nice car show down this way. There's probably going to be more coming up, and I'll be filming that once that happens. But again, I'm trying to make the point is that videos, okay, on YouTube should be more personable, should be more down to earth, And Rabbi's last episode there, which I will leave down below, of course. I'll give all the pertinent information in the comments pinned there. That it's kind of sad, that I am never going to let AI take over my channel. I don't want to use AI. I want to get more creative. I want to use more, you know. I want to incorporate more art in my videos. I want to incorporate more creativity, you know, instead of just kind of regurgitating ideas, you know. And that's kind of the thing why I like sticking to music, because when you're talking about music, you're sticking more to the personable, to the more, to the human aspect. You know, we've been, because music starts with the heartbeat of your mother, when you're in the womb. It starts when, that rhythmic pattern, the swooshy sounds that you're hearing, that sounds very musical in the womb, especially if you were around people. Well, if your parents were around people or around a lot of music and you can hear that, yeah. And then, right from birth, I have my dad who loved 60s music. So his love of music, 50s and 60s music, his love of music rubbed off on me. So yeah, just to keep it more personable, which is why I love watching so many channels and I always bring him up because he's my favorite. There's Larry Graves, Glenn Calloway, I could name so many more, but I feel, I don't want to exclude so many channels out there. Now, there's so many great channels that talk about music of all kinds, okay? And I like more hearing, even if it's opposed to what I like, or what I enjoy. It doesn't matter. I like hearing about other people's taste in music and really understanding why they like that music. Eh, that's the main thing, you know. And I've talked about music snobs. I've talked about the stiff and the stuffy people who really don't understand creativity. All they see is just numbers and statistics and you know I don't want my channel to be like that. I want my channel to be a human experience, you know. And I love that. I love that whole idea of putting we need to campaign. We need to campaign. We need to band together us smaller channels, you know, struggling to fight against these giants. These giants have just monopolized because they hacked the system, and they expect us to hack the system. And I'm not going to do it. Now, another thing about Ryby's channel I want to bring up, and again, I think this is wonderful, and I don't want it to seem like any type of sarcasm whatsoever because it's not. I have such respect. But his channel, okay, he's only been going for 5 months. 5 months, and he's already at 300. Now, how long did it take me to get to 300 subscribers? It took me 1 year and 8 months. It took me 20 months to get to 300. So, it just goes to show that sometimes it is a bit of a popularity contest. It is, if you have a certain look or a certain style that people relate to, more, he's more relatable than I am. That's why he's getting so many more subscribers, and that's not a bad thing. I want to support and honor, channels like his, because if he can hack the system by just being a human being and being a normal person, that's more important. That's what it's all about. That's I love that. I love that he got so far so fast. You know, Once he passes me, which he will, he's gonna pass me like no problem within 2 years. Okay, I guarantee he'll be at 1,000. He'll be at 1,000 subscribers. He'll surpass my channel, and then I'm gonna say, hey, remember when I was trying to help you bring your channel up? Can you please help bring my channel up? Of course, I'm kidding. No, we gotta all support each other. There's so many awesome, grounded, feet planted firmly on the ground, people doing great content that is not getting the attention they should be because YouTube is no longer YouTube. It's not you anymore. It's them. It's hacking and AI. I tell you, AI is a terrible thing. It's going to take so much of a It's going to stifle creativity even more. Like, this is a quick fix generation. Where everything you need is at your fingertip. You know, I, 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 I don't know. I appreciate so much the hard work. Just want to make sure it's still recording. I appreciate all the hard work that a person puts into creating a piece of art. And that's why I want to dedicate my channel to. If I didn't have to, have an evening job the way that I do, I would so much dedicate my channel to, to creativity, to lifting up the human spirit, to trying to do the right thing. Always, you know, I don't know. I just find that we're, as connected as we are, and when I mean connected, it's not in the good way. We need contact. We need to have that tactile, and that's why I like relating to the. Now, okay, I understand Glenn had a schedule, and I wasn't, you know, I wasn't, hung up on it. But on his trip to PEI, if he would have had a chance to come and stop by for about an hour and had a coffee with me, that would have been great. I understand, whatever reason. I'm not sore or like, oh, he kind of passed me over. I don't feel that way at all. I understand that sometimes, it probably wasn't the right time. He probably didn't have a lot of time and he wanted to get home. I understand. It's all good. I'm happy that he had fun up there and got to play great music and that with everybody. Maybe next time when you're going up in that direction, because you say you have family in that, right, and friends in that. Yeah, it still would be awesome to have met Glenn Calloway. It's cool. Like I would love to be able to meet Larry Graves in person, or any of you guys out there. That's really cool. There's so many of you. So just note that I am subscribed to so many of you guys now out there, and I'm not going to unsubscribe to you guys ever. And I will try. I try my best to get to as many of you guys as possible. There's a few I follow. There's a few I watch most of your stuff. Some of you I watch about half of your stuff. Or it all depends. It all depends on how much time I have, what interests me. But when it comes to that down to earth, human experience, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. I'm keeping an eye on the time, but I do have some time to kind of to walk around and show you some stuff if I can. Like look at that site over here. I like looking at the city and you know from different perspectives. These buildings went up pretty fast. They weren't as much there. But yeah, we're trying to make the infrastructure of Moncton a little bigger. I mean, that's a pretty good start, making them apartment buildings, house more people. I mean, I think apartment buildings are a great idea. Put a lot of people in a small, in a somewhat small space. They look like pretty spacious apartments to me. There's the Assumption building with the tower right behind it. A baseball field here. This is where I came to try to see if I could find see that comet that day. Yeah. But yeah, personable. Be personable. We can't hack the system like Mr. Beast did. We're not Mr. Beast. We don't have a whole team of people behind them like a studio. I mean, okay, I understand YouTube for doing that, but yeah, I really wish that YouTube could go back to the basics, go back to catering to actual people, and instead of these big conglomerates. YouTube should be just like it's you. It's one singular. It's you, the individual, not a team of this and that, bringing you. And I'll admit, I like some of that stuff. I like watching, like for example, it's just a small example. Randomly, what culture or Trek culture from where I watch Star Trek content. Because I'm rewatching the Star Trek stuff right now, and I love learning about, reminiscing about that stuff. But again, it's a team of people that put those kind of videos together. But I will always gravitate more. See, now I'm starting to repeat myself again. I don't want to do that. It's just, yeah, when it comes to, oh, he's on the other side of that fence there, but yeah, some beautiful, see, the birds are out today. There's birds all over the place, There's a few bees, insects flying around. So, oh, it's gorgeous day. Gorgeous day. I just had to bring you guys outside, you know. And I want to again just thank everybody. I thank everybody who interacts with me, you know, and I do my best to interact with you guys back, and I'll always comment. I try to take note of who's there, who's not there. You know, I'm trying to keep track of all you guys, all my subscribers, especially those of you that I want to go to the field here, especially those of you who comment and you know and really support my channel. I know, and I mean, I tell you, a lot of people have been telling me lately, you know, is that like a lot of channels are not doing really well, you know, that they have a slump. And I predict that it has something, it must have something to do with with AI taking over. And YouTube just promoting wherever the money is, you know. Again, they got to put the U back in YouTube. Okay, I think I'm going to be starting to ramble now, so and keep going in a loop. I think I said my piece that YouTube should be back to the people. It really should be for real creators, real creations. You know, something that transcends YouTube to a more humanistic, you know, endeavor. You know, don't get me wrong. I love all that culture stuff and everything. But yeah. All right, I gotta let you go. Look forward to some more videos this week. Like tomorrow should be another nice day. So if I can, I'm coming back out and I'll probably do another video out here for you. Talk about another subject. I want to, like I said, now that summer's here, I want to get outside and not give you that same boring background all the time. I want to try to show you some cool stuff around here I haven't showed you yet. I'm sure there's a couple of things here and there that I would love to let you see. All right, then. So, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because I will love you forever and greatly appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. I don't understand why there's not more likes from people. You know, if you mildly like a channel, it just helps them so much. Leave a comment, because I love hearing what you guys think, and if you see any areas where I can personably improve my channel for you, like, you know, with my personality or whatever. I know there's some technological stuff that I need to do, but I'm working on that. But anything that you see that I can make better, I want to do that for you guys. And as you may know, because if you watch my channel enough, you see it. All right, everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace. And now to shut this off.